Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube video presentation. My name is Deborah Castillo. Today I'm going to be demonstrating steps in doing a manicure, starting with our nail grooming, which involves cuticle work, filing our nails, just preparing our nails for a perfect polish application. And then I'm going to be showing you how to apply your polish, how to do a French manicure, how to do the acrylics, how to do the gels, and a good hand massage. So stay tuned. Let's get started. My workstation is clean. My hands are washed and sanitized. So first things first, I'm going to sanitize the client's hands, spraying the sanitizer all the way to the arms. And then I'm taking a cotton pad and I'm wiping the hands, and I'm also wiping the palms. So I've taken a soft file and I'm going to be using this file to file and shape the free edges. And as I'm filing, I'm making sure that I'm filing in one direction, meaning that I'm filing from the left corner to the center and from the right corner to the center. By so doing, this helps avoid nail splitting, unlike if I'm to file randomly. A soft file is good and gentle on the skin. Now that I finished filing, the next step is to take a cuticle cream. You can also use a cuticle softener, and I'm applying the cream on the cuticles. I then massage in the cream so as to make sure that the cream gets absorbed. I prepared a handful of warm water with hand soak, so I will soak the fingers for about 3 to 4 minutes. And whilst that hand is soaking, I will also start working on the other hand, because I know when I'm done, I will be able to swap hands. The one that's soaking will be ready, and I will swap the hands. So as I'm drying the fingers, I'm massaging again the cuticle area to just make sure the cream is thoroughly absorbed. Now it's time to push the cuticles, and there are several pushers one can use. There is the silicone cuticle pusher, there is the metal cuticle pusher, there is also the orange stick. But today I'll be using the metal one. As I push the cuticles, I'm doing it gently to avoid causing pain on my client. Because of the cream and the warm water soak that we did before, the cuticles are now soft. So I am gently pushing the cuticles. I am not applying any pressure. I don't want to hurt my client, neither do I want to cut my client. Pushing the cuticles also increases the length of the nail bed, giving me a bigger and nice space to work on when applying my polish. I like using an E-file, so I have removed this diamond bit because I find it too sharp, so I prefer the comb bit, which is this one. The comb bit is gentle on the edges and it's also gentle on the skin. And as I am filing, I am also filing in one direction, from the right to the left. I am not doing a back and forth movement. The other reason why I like using an E-file, it's because it really gets in the sides of the nails and it removes the scales and nicely lifts up the cuticles. There you go. You can see all that excess cuticles that we managed to lift up. So now it's time to remove the excess cuticles. And there are also options. You can use a cuticle cutter, you can use the cuticle scissors, or you can also use nippers. But I'm going to start with the cuticle cutter today, and then I will nip off what will be left. And as I am using the cutter, I am doing it in a way that will make me not cut into the fresh skin, but making sure I'm only cutting the dead skin. Again, you don't want to hurt your client. You see that dead skin coming off? That's what we want. Just the dead skin without hurting or harming our client. So I am carefully and gently cutting only the dead skin, because it will not only be painful if I cut the fresh skin, but that will also promote infections. So now I'm going to be using the nippers to nip off the remaining excess cuticles. And again, we are just nipping off the excess. We are not getting into the fresh skin. And I like to use the nippers because they nicely remove the hang nails or that excess skin on the sides. Now that I've finished, I'm going to take my buffer just to smoothen out my nail bed. Now that I've finished, I've sprayed the nails with a liquid cleanser, and I'm using a cotton ball to wipe the cleanser off. Now that this is out of the way, it's time for that good massage. I'm going to be using a hand moisturizing cream for the massage. Obviously taking a generous amount, but if one is using the thick butter, a small amount goes a long way. I'm making sure to support my client's hand and begin with the upward stroke movement. And as I'm doing this, I'm applying a bit of pressure. I then move on to small thumb circular motions, beginning from the arm, going down to the wrist area, and now I will start massaging the knuckles all the way down to the fingertips of each finger. I will also start doing circular movements on each finger, doing 3 times in a clockwise direction and 3 times in an anti-clockwise direction. A hand massage is good for blood circulation and joint mobility, especially for people with joint problems or arthritis. This will be really good for them. And it just helps you to relax. So now I will flip the hand over for the palm massage. the hand to do the circle movements, but this time it's the whole hand. And again, doing 3 movements going to the right and 3 movements going to the opposite direction. And make sure that the client's elbow is well rested on the table. And then I will finish off with the first step of the upward stroke movement. So I just wanted to say, remember to sterilize your metal tools after each client. Hygiene is very important. So now I'm dehydrating the fingernails. My client doesn't have any free edges. I don't know if you noticed from the beginning when I was filing. So I will have to glue on some artificial nail tips. She's a nail biter. So I will have to glue on some tips just to give me a nice canvas for my polish application and eventually enhance the final look. So a bit of advice, please stop biting your nails. This damages your nails, it promotes open wounds. As you lift the skin, eventually you will get infections, ingrowns, which can be very painful. So right now, I've already glued, clipped, blended and shaped my nail tips. And now I'm evening everything out with the buffer. So I've made sure to clip my artificial nails very short so that we can still have that natural look. Dusting away residue. I'm spraying the nail cleanser to remove particles, oils, or anything that might affect the polish. So you can also use a varnish remover. So without the artificial nails, this step would be the next step after the massage. Also, if you are doing acrylics or extensions, I advise doing the massage at the end. This is how the nails are looking like. So now I will apply the base coat first. The base coat protects your natural nails from tinting, especially when you are using high pigmented color polish, for example, the red that I'm going to be using today. So not only does it prepare for the next coat, but it also protects your natural nails. It acts as a barrier, which is a good thing, isn't it? When applying polish, remember to always cap the free edges. I always cap the free edges because this will stop the polish from chipping. So I am using my wooden stick to erase or to neaten as I go. So the wooden stick, this one in particular, has got two sides. One that is like a cuticle pusher, and this toothpick like side that I'm using to remove any smudges. And I also feel it's easier doing it this way when it's still wet rather than when the polish is dry. So it's like a clean as you go. Now it's time for the color polish in color red. You can never go wrong with red. So I'm holding the polish bottle to avoid any dripping on my work area. So it's either I hold it times or I make sure I put it close. And as I'm taking the polish from the bottle, I wipe one side of the brush and halfway down on the other side. So this will help me not to have too much product on the brush, and also just to avoid any dripping on my working area. So when I'm applying polish, I start from the middle, then I push the polish closer to the cuticle area, and then do downward glides and make sure to do nice smiley lines in the corners. So with color polish, I'm going to do 2 coats of the color. So the first coat is very light and can even be called an ugly coat. So as I'm applying, I'm also making sure to leave a hairline gap between the polish and the cuticle, because you also need to avoid applying on top of the cuticle, and this will cause the polish to lift or to peel off. that polish chipping. That's the first coat. This is my second coat. And I'm also using the second coat to cover small gaps that I have left when I did the first coat. I love the second coat. It makes everything make sense, honestly. So when it comes to capping the free edge, others will cap first before applying the polish on the entire nail bed, which is fine. But if you know that you cannot cap at the end, because you also don't want to create like a bump on the free edge, you might as well cap first and then polish on top so that everything is smooth. But if you're able to cap at the end, like I do, then there is really no problem. Look at that. Beautiful. I love red. It's just classy. There's something about red. So now I'll finish off with the top coat for that seal and nice beautiful shine. I love the glossy finish of the top coat. It makes the color pop at the end. And again, capping at the edge. It's very important because I don't want my client coming back 2 days later disappointed and angry at me. There we go. Beautiful. Let me comment on my own work. So if you haven't been erasing as you go or neatening up as you go, and you notice some smudges on the sides, you can erase or neaten with an earbud or an orange stick. You can wrap or twist some cotton wool around it, then dip it in varnish remover and clean. Done. So now we move on to the French manicure. I'm going to be doing the French manicure on the other hand. And I will start off with the base coat. I like to also use a small angle brush that I firstly dip in varnish remover and lightly dry it on a paper towel because I like it and I like the precision when I'm also neatening up the sides or removing any smudges from the sides. So for the white tips, one can use a thin painting brush. Yes, it has precision, but I find it a bit inconvenient because normal polish tends to dry up quickly and the brush doesn't take much product. So for the white tips, so I will just use it for this first finger. And then now I'm using the bottle brush. It's easier and faster because it collects a lot of product for a once-off application. And then I will have to neaten it up with a small brush for a defined line. Also, you can apply a lightly pigmented color coat before the white tips. For example, you can apply a baby pink or blush pink or even a light nude just to give a pop of color for the French manicure. I'm trading carefully not to smudge the other finished fingers. The problem is I paid too much attention to detail, and that's my weakness. So just bear with me, guys, bear with me. So now that's done. I'm going to finish off with the top coat. And again, not forgetting to cap or lock the free edges. That's very important. I think I'm just going to keep on repeating that. And there you go. The finished manicure. So now moving on to the acrylics. I'm going to apply the nail primer after I've dehydrated the nails. So I'm just going to be applying the primer on the natural nail because remember earlier on I had to put the artificial nail tips. I have my monomer and I have my acrylic powder in color pearly white. I can use white acrylic powder first and the color one on top, especially when I know my client will want a color change. But today I'm just going to use this color one with no white first. But I don't normally advise people keeping a manicure for too long or for more than 3 weeks. So I'm dipping my brush in the monomer and making sure I'm brushing off excess liquid so that my bit is not too wet and runny. because if it's too runny, then it becomes difficult to work with. And I like applying small bits at a time, and I build as I go. But if you can apply with a big bit once off, then that's good. Some of us, we like to do it small but sure. And because there are artificial tips there, I will have to build a bit on the apex area. And I'm making sure to clean my brush of any excess powder. And I find it easy actually to also shape my tips first before applying acrylic, because also if you manage to apply it in a good way, it will just fit in the shape. You don't have to then now start shaping your tips after you've applied your acrylic. I'm also cleaning the edges as I'm applying the acrylic powder. The sides are covered nicely. So for the third finger, I'm going to be doing acrylic dip. So I'll be using the rubber base today. You can also use glue and the glue activator. And my dip powder is in the color of pearly white. I'm going to be doing 2 coats. A rubber base is thicker than the normal base coat. So I'm erasing any smudges. So for the first coat dip, I will be using the metal pusher to pour the powder onto the nail. You can use a tube, which is very easy to use and saves product, but this is like a hack that I'm just demonstrating here. There are situations where maybe the client wants the color which is like not enough to dip, or if you're having someone with very long tips, you know, you won't be able to just dip. So the pusher is a great hack. So after I've cured in the lamp for 60 seconds, I've also removed off any excess powder, and now I'm applying the rubber base for the second coat. So if the client wants a thick layer, you can even do up to 3 or 4 coats. But today I'm just going to do 2. So now we will do the normal dipping, placing the finger directly into the powder. And I'm going to cure it for 90 seconds. So now that is done, I'm filing the edges with a soft file before going in with my e-file. So first I'm going to use the football bit to file and blend in the sides in the cuticle area. And when I'm done, I'm then going to change and use a bigger bit to smoothen out the entire nail. I'm doing it fast, but I am moving from right to left on the sides. One direction motion, one direction movement. You can't do a back and forth movement. So on the sides and cuticle area, left is from right to left, and then on the nail I'm going to be moving from top to down. I would like to apologize, guys, for not being able to zoom in because at different intervals because of lack of an extra pair of hands. And also the lighting might be a bit on the bright side. But hey guys, I was working against load shedding, which has become a norm in Southern Africa. You know, God help us. But we are managing, aren't we? Remember, at the edges, the sides, right to left, and on the entire nail, we are doing from top to bottom. done with the e-file, and now we are buffing. Everything comes together with a buffer, doesn't it? Yes. So I'm also buffing the free edges in a downward motion to remove any excess powder. There we go. Dusting off excess dust and cleaning the nails with the nail cleanser. So I'm just going to spray a bit of the nail cleanser and wipe it off with a cotton pad. So I'm going to be applying gel on the first two nails, and I'm going to, because I want to do a French manicure using gel, so I'm applying the base coat first. Tapping the free edges, cleaning as I go as usual. And also the difference with gel is if it dries, it dries. If you just cure it, the minute you put it in the UV lamp, it's done. So we're going to cure the base coat for 5 seconds. We don't want to over cure the base coat. So now I'm applying 1 coat of blush pink gel. So as I'll be cleaning, I'll be wiping off my brush on a paper towel. So we'll cure the color gel for 30 seconds. So I'm going to be using a white gel liner. So this gel liner, the brush is thin because it's meant for doing art, designing, for designing purposes. So it really makes it easier to use. Guys, don't you agree gel was the best thing to be created or invented? Honestly, especially for us nail technicians. Because I think a lot of people, most people, they struggle to do a DIY at home using gel. Like my mom. My mom still prefers using the normal polish. She's like, I'm fine, I'm okay. She loves the normal polish. So I've cured the white tips 30 seconds again, and now I will seal everything with the top coat. So I'm also going to apply the top coat on the third finger, the one that we did the acrylic dip, just to finish everything off. Miss Perfectionist coming in with her angle brush. Oh my goodness. I'm addicted. I'm addicted to cleaning. Always cleaning. So the top coat will cure for 90 seconds. And there we go. Natural looking acrylics. Moving on to the last bit of this long video, guys. Your patience is greatly appreciated. So we're moving on to gels. I'm going to be doing gels, and I'm starting with the builder gel. So I'm taking a very generous amount with my brush, and I'm gliding it over the nail, applying more on the apex and lightly pushing into the cuticle area. So with gel, it evens out itself. But depending on the look you want, for a high layer on the apex, you might have to flip the finger upside down so that more of the gel can just glide onto the center or onto the apex area, so that it does not become even out. But the look for today is the even look. So I've cured the gel, and I'm applying the second coat. So as I was taking the product, I was twisting my brush. This helps to avoid the gel from dripping. Again, we are just gliding the brush over the nail. So we've already cured it again, and now that it's dried, I'm just going to smoothen it out with a buffer. So unfortunately, my polygel order didn't get here on time. So the other two fingers, I'm just going to do a normal or basic gel application. If I had my polygel, I would have demonstrated how to use the polygel. So the polygel is a combination of acrylic and gel. So after cleaning my nail plate, the basic gel application requires applying the base coat first. So now I'm just applying the base coat. Like I said, I make sure I neaten up before it gets in the UV lamp, because gel, when it gets in the lamp, it dries up quickly. So there we go. We're moving on to the color gel application. I'll be using the shellac color deep purple. So the first coat is a lightly layer. Applying from the middle and pushing the gel towards the cuticle area, and again making sure that I'm leaving a hairline gap in between the gel and the cuticle to avoid lifting or peeling off. So I'm just going to be applying this color on all 3 fingers. Mistakes do happen, guys, but if you can neatly apply your polish like a once-off application, then that's good. So we're just going to cure that for 30 seconds and onto the second coat. I love the second coat, guys. I do love it. It makes everything make sense. Everything just comes together. But of course, the top coat is the one that then just seals everything off. But the top coat, it defines the color. It just defines the color. Brings the pigment to life. 30 seconds. And now we're going to be finishing off with the top coat for that glossy finish, for that shine. Guys, my client wants to show off her other hand. She's just making sure that it's in there, it's in the video. So the top coat is the one that dries everything together. The other color coats, if you notice, it will be sticky. No matter how many times you put it in the UV lamp, it will never dry out unless or until you put the top coat. Then everything dries up. Okay, there we go. So we cure the top coat for 90 seconds. So now I'm just going to lightly file the sides with a soft file just to neaten up everything. So you can even use this soft file if you see maybe there are some smudges on the sides. You can use that one to neaten up everything. Remember, I told you, if the gel dries up, it's dry. You can't come in with the thing and then start clearing. So into a big bowl, I've prepared warm water with hand soak and a few drops of disinfectant. So I'm using the finger brush to clean the nails, to remove excess powder. And I'm also washing the hand. So I'll also do the same with the other hand. So I make sure the hands are thoroughly dry. And when I'm done drying the hands, I will apply cuticle oil. And I will massage in the cuticle oil to moisturize the cuticles. So with the hand cream, I will give my client a relaxing, good hand massage. So guys, if time permits, it's better to do it slow as possible and as long as possible. After all, who doesn't like a good massage? I love a good massage. And I don't like it when the massage is finished, like, okay, I'm supposed to go. I'm like, please, just carry on, just continue doing it. I love a good massage, guys. Done. There you go. There you go. Nice and lovely. Oh, thank you for watching, guys. Thank you. Bye.